Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Ezra. I am a couples and portrait photographer currently based in Vancouver, British Columbia. In today's video, I want to share some of my bouldering photos with you. So I've created a video all around that so I can share these awesome photos I've taken recently. Now, bouldering wasn't really a term that I was familiar with a couple years ago. I knew what rock climbing was. I knew it was with ropes and rubber shoes and often outdoors or indoors, but I didn't know there was sort of this other avenue called bouldering as well. It's a little bit different. You're wearing sometimes similar shoes, but you're not harnessed into anything and no one's really belaying you or helping keeping you safe. Instead, you're relying on mats or sometimes a spotter if you're outside, but the main thing is you're not tied into a rope system, and oftentimes the routes are a lot shorter because for safety wise you're not just going super high, and as a result of that the harder climbs are often more technical. Now, when I was living on the island before I moved to Vancouver, I started climbing at this bouldering gym that just opened up in our town. It was super fun. I really enjoyed it. Definitely remember the first couple of times going, like my fingers, like all the skin was really hurting the next day. My forearms got pumped really early on and I just couldn't like climb for over an hour after my first session, and I was like, wow, I'm just so tired, and this didn't really work. But I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of like mental exercise as well, I found, trying to understand how to climb something and then understanding body tension, and then also trying to get over the mental like obstacles of like going dynamically out for a move, for example. But anyways, I moved to the mainland here in Vancouver, which is where I am now, and I started climbing with one of my friends, Charlene Sparman, at the local climbing gym, Hive Bouldering. The setting's really good. I love the people there. I've met a lot of great friends there. You're gonna see a lot of their photos here that I've taken of them. And actually this year, I would say, is probably my first year where I've actually started climbing outdoors as well. And it's something that is really exciting and very different as well. And COVID's been a really big player in this as well. I remember when I first started climbing, we were using like dry chalk and like the normal powder chalk. And then as COVID hit, we had to use the liquid chalk, which is something I'm getting used to. And I actually prefer as a base layer now because it really, I feel like coats your skin really well and helps like coat all your crevices in your skin. As someone that sweats a lot, that's something that's helpful for me. And then it basically is like chalk, but a lot of rubbing alcohol, so it just dissipates and just the chalk is left on your hands. And so we've been using that primarily. Anyways, I want to show you these photos here. These are different photos of my friends that I've met. This photo here is of my friend Daniel, and this one is of Janine. And I met them pre-COVID. We were climbing oftentimes at the same time, and it was really cool starting climbing with them. And then COVID hit, I really took a break from climbing and didn't come back until I guess probably about 8 months later in October of last year when I started climbing again. And then I had to sort of make up for that lost time and get back into the rhythm of things and get back to the level of climbing I was at. And then now I've definitely pushed past that, and it's been really exciting to see that growth in myself, and I find it so fulfilling. It's a really cool activity I find that you can do by yourself, in the sense of it's like a one-on-one personal sport you do with yourself, but at the same time when you're climbing with other people, it becomes like a group project, or you're both climbing the same project and learning different moves or trying different moves based on how the other person's climbing. So it can become like a sport climb as well, or like a team climb, and that's super fun. But I hadn't seen Daniel and Janine for a while because I obviously wasn't climbing, and then I saw them again at the new location in Port Coquitlam that opened up called Poco, and it's Poco Hive Climbing. And they were both actually starting to work there as well, so it's really great connecting with them. Through them I met two other climbers, Annabelle and Nick. They were the next two climbers I've met, and it's been really cool climbing with them as well. We're at a similar level, I think, in climbing, but we all have sort of different strengths. Like some of us are a bit more technical, some of us have a bit more reach and more upper body strength, and some of us are just like super sendy and just want to like go for everything. And so I think we're a really cool bunch, and we often climb together and organize times to climb together so that we can all push each other and continue to get better and grow. Annabelle, which I've already mentioned, her boyfriend Adrian actually works and also sets at the Hive Climbing as well. So it's always fun climbing with him and getting different data from him. He's often setting a lot of really cool, really hard climbs, and so it's always so inspiring seeing him climb and seeing how smooth he is and how he is able to keep his body tension in control, and that's something that I really aspire to continue to do. So I feel like after I watch him, I get better as a climber as well. I've also met these two brothers, Mark and Matthew, and they're really strong climbers and an inspiration to me as well, because they've only been climbing for a short period of time and they've already progressed so far, and so it kind of continues to keep the fire under my butt to continue to train and stay motivated and keep climbing. And in the summer right now I find that super hard because I want to play volleyball every single day, but I know I also want to keep up the climbing so that in the fall I won't have lost a lot of that progress. And so I'm trying to balance climbing and trying to balance volleyball right now. It's a lot of fun though. I've just recently gone out to Squamish and being able to climb out there, and it's incredible out there. There's a reason that people from all over and from around the surrounding areas come out to Squamish to climb. Absolutely incredible. Got my own crash pad, which is super fun, and being able to join the groups by sort of trekking into the different trails, checking out different local areas now with more of the COVID restrictions, and being able to send some of my first projects outdoors. I recently was able to send a 3 and then a 4 on the same day with my friends Adrian and Annabelle. I'll show some of the videos here. And yeah, it was so fun, and something that it's very different, definitely very different climbing indoors versus outdoors. A little bit more of a mental game outdoors. You don't really know which holds you're going for or how positive they are, and it's a little bit sharper on your hands, I find, as well. And I think I've heard from most people that climbing outdoors is significantly harder than climbing indoors. But it's super fun, and like I said, I wanted to create this video so I can show you all these photos that you've seen during this video. Just a quick note, actually, if you're a photographer and you're taking photos of climbing, this is something that's very different for me. It's a total different posing game, total different approach to photography, I find. Like the angles that you're used to for shooting a portrait to make it look pleasing to the eye is so different than when you're shooting something dynamic and sporty. I don't usually shoot a lot of sports stuff, and so being able to shoot this climbing and this like passion of mine as well with my friends is really cool. It's a great opportunity, I find, to sort of stretch my perspective as a photographer and the different tools that I have. But I found that like some of the angles that you wouldn't normally shoot if you were doing like a portrait session or a couple session look so cool and dynamic, and so I've started really playing around with that, and it's been a bit of a challenge as well. I shoot on prime lenses primarily, don't really have a zoom lens, and so that might be something I'll consider getting in the future, just because it's going to be easier to get closer to people. If you're like standing on top of the project and they're below you and you're shooting down on them, you can't really necessarily get a lot closer than your arms will let you. So that would be really helpful to have a zoom lens for. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, I'm exploring it, and I'm really excited to show you the next video I make, maybe in a couple months, sharing some more of the progress that I've made, and then also showing the progress I've made with the photos and the photography as well. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please leave a like. You can also subscribe, it helps me out and it's free to you. Leave a comment for videos you'd like to see in the future, and if you're not already, you can follow me on Instagram at EzraTai Photography. I don't really post any of my climbing photos there, but I do post on my story the climbing projects that I'm working on, and so if you want to see those, you can check it out there as well. Anyways, until next time guys, make new friends and shoot them. Bye-bye.